As we begin this new year, I'd love to encourage all of us to have a go at doing the Bible in 1 year, now known as the Bible with Nikki and Pippa Gumble. I've used it for years and it has been such a blessing to me. It takes a mammoth task and shrinks it down into daily bite-sized chunks. And what grabs me each time I start is that Psalm 1 on day 1 gives us the motivation we need to give it a go. Psalm 1 begins with this: "Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers." And as I read something like that, I tend to go towards the questions of, where am I letting that happen? Where am I letting those voices speak into my life? But what we see there is the psalmist doesn't contrast walking, standing, or sitting with a different way of walking, standing, and sitting, but with delight. He says, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. There is this saying that says you don't have to fight the darkness, just turn on the light. And that's what the psalmist is saying happens, that as you read the Bible, you are turning on the light. I did a little diagram. On one side you have all this activity, but to counter the way of the world is to delight in the word of the Lord, to find delight and pleasure in reading the Bible. Now, it's important to remember that the law isn't just the 10 Commandments, not just a list of rules. The law is the entire story, the story of creation, the story of the fall, and then God's restoration plan, picking a family, rescuing them out of slavery, and then making them his. So what he gives us as we read the Bible is a different story to delight in, to meditate on. The word meditate there literally meaning to mutter. So I wonder, what's the story that's muttered all around you? Maybe the story that is all around you is that you are an accident, or you need to earn your worth, or you need to perform to retain your place. And he says, I have a different story. Not a story of earning, but a story of enjoying. That enjoyment isn't opposed to effort. I mean, it will take a little bit of effort to read or listen to the Bible this year. There is effort involved, but this is the effort of enjoyment, because the enjoyment comes because it's the effort of receiving a gift. We see that in verse 2. His delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. Discipline is fueled by delight, and delight is fueled by discipline. And the result of this delight and discipline is he is like a tree planted by streams of water. Now, that word tree gets used throughout the Old Testament, and it's often used to describe what becomes the cross. We are being told that there is a tree, and that by that tree there are streams of life-giving water, and that it will give its fruit in the right season, and that the leaves will not wither. The forgiveness that Jesus gives does not wither. Unlike the fig leaves that Adam and Eve and all of us reach for to cover up things, his forgiveness is evergreen. You will prosper as long as you are connected to his cross of grace, and that we get to delight in that, because that is everything we long for and it's everything we need. And doing in the Bible in 1 year will help you encounter that delight daily. When things are challenging, it's the encouragement that though struggle and injustice and hatred seem eternal, one day the wind will drive them away. And that when following Jesus seems hard, it will lead to prospering. Look at Jesus. He's the one this psalm is about. In everything he does, he prospers. I mean, any old person can flourish when they're alive and things are easy. The promise is so great here that Jesus, even in death, flourished. He did everything to flourish, yet he died, not for his sins, but for ours. He perished, yet even death could not keep him down. And though he perished, he flourished. And so as we follow Jesus, we can know there will be seasons of hardship, but we will yield fruit in its season. That when we die to our egos, die to our ungodly desires, even when we actually die, we will rise again, because we are following in the way of the one who flourished, even when he perished. Reading the Bible will help us navigate this year ahead, and it's our main resource in becoming like Jesus, the one who is blessed as he delights in the law of the Lord. So give it a go. The Bible with Nikki and Pippa Gumble. You can find it in all good app as well as bookstores.